Emergency team, what's the situation? Trainer down, she's under. We need an ambulance, now. On June 12th, beneath the blistering Florida sun, a crowd gathered to witness beauty, strength, and the illusion of control. Instead, they watched in frozen silence as a woman was dragged into the depths by the very creature she trusted most. This is the heartbreaking final chapter of Rowan Hart, a veteran orca trainer whose unshakable bond with a wild predator ended in horror. Her story forces us to ask, can love ever tame the ocean? Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story, because what you're about to hear is unforgettable. Rowan Hart didn't find the ocean, it found her. As a child, she could name every species of whale by heart. Her notebooks weren't filled with fairy tales, but with hand-drawn diagrams of dorsal fins. She memorized whale songs the way others memorized lyrics. By age 12, she was volunteering at a coastal rescue center. By 20, she had 2 marine biology internships under her belt and a growing reputation as someone with an uncanny ability to connect with animals others feared. At 33, she was one of the most respected trainers in North America. Her movements in the water were fluid, calm, almost reverent. But there was one orca who had captured her soul: Vega. Vega was a titan of the pool, 8,000 pounds of raw muscle, 19 feet long, eyes that followed every motion with unsettling precision. Captured from the wild off Iceland's coast in 1992, she'd spent nearly 3 decades swimming in circles. Her performances were stunning, her intelligence undeniable. But her file told a different story. She'd missed cues, snapped her jaws at trainers, slapped her tail with violent force against the water. She'd once even cornered a junior handler against the wall of the tank, refusing to back away until Rowan arrived. Most of these incidents were dismissed. Just a bad day. Just orca behavior. Just stress. But over time, a pattern formed, one that was easier to ignore than confront, an unspoken bond. To the public, Vega was a performer. To Rowan, she was a soul. She trusted Vega with her life, one colleague said. There was this language between them that none of us spoke. Late nights by the tank, wordless exchanges, training sessions that felt more like choreography than command. Their signature move? A synchronized lift, with Vega pushing Rowan skyward. It embodied everything Rowan believed in: respect, communication, mutual trust, and it would be the move that ended her life. It was 2:30 p.m. at OceanWorld Orlando. The arena was packed with tourists, families, and students. The sun baked the bleachers. The scent of popcorn and salt water filled the air. Dances with Giants was the headliner. Rowan emerged from backstage with her usual poise. Her wetsuit glistened. She gave a wave to the crowd, but inside, she was uneasy. Vega had been acting strangely all morning, floating for long periods, avoiding eye contact and ignoring reinforcement cues. She was off, a senior trainer recalled. There was something in her posture, something distant. Rowan gave the signal. Vega responded, until she didn't. 2:47 p.m., the bond breaks. The crowd cheered as Vega approached. She spun, she turned, she hesitated. What should have been a graceful lift became a shove, a dunk, a deviation from script. Rowan smiled it off. She splashed the water, calming Vega. But Vega didn't calm. With stunning force, Vega lunged forward and bit down on Rowan's arm. The water erupted. Some thought it was part of the act. Others screamed. But Rowan felt it. The pain, the pressure, the shift from partner to predator. She tried to pull free, kicked, hit the release signal. Nothing. Pulled into the deep. Her body vanished, then re-emerged, gasping, eyes wide, blood swirling. Another plunge. Gone again. Emergency protocols activated. Sirens blared. Trainers deployed nets, tossed buckets of fish, activated distraction tones. Vega ignored them all. "She was focused," said one diver, "like no one else existed but Rowan." At 2:49 p.m., Rowan resurfaced, barely conscious, lips blue. Her eyes met Vega's. Then she was pulled under for the final time. At 2:55 p.m., Vega released her. Rowan's body was pulled from the water, limp, twisted, silent. Paramedics fought to revive her, but the damage was done. Broken ribs, a crushed shoulder, internal bleeding, lungs filled with water. At 3:04 p.m., Rowan Hart was pronounced dead. The stadium emptied in silence. OSHA arrived within hours. Wildlife officials began their investigation. Footage was pulled. Trainer logs were collected. The coroner's report confirmed it: blunt force trauma and drowning. But deeper wounds were psychological. Internal emails revealed that concerns about Vega had been growing for months, concerns that were minimized, ignored, and sometimes deleted entirely from public records. One trainer had written just days before, "Vega's not right. I'm worried she's going to hurt someone." The email was never answered. A world in uproar news broke across every major outlet. Trainer killed by longtime partner. Another Orca tragedy rocks marine park industry. Protests exploded. Former trainers came forward. Celebrities and activists reignited campaigns to free the whales. Vega's name became synonymous with Captivity's cost. Rowan's name, a symbol of devotion and system failure. The bigger question. Orcas in the wild form lifelong families. They mourn their dead. They pass knowledge through generations. Their vocalizations are complex, their relationships deep. In captivity, they pace in silence. Their dorsal fins collapse. They are denied everything their DNA demands. Marine biologist Dr. Lena Moreau put it bluntly: captivity doesn't break the orca's body first, it breaks their mind. Rowan understood that, but she believed love could bridge the gap. It couldn't. At Rowan's memorial, dozens of trainers stood barefoot around the tank. White roses floated on the surface. Vega, still and silent, lingered beneath them. Rowan's mother spoke through tears. She died doing what she loved, but she should never have had to die at all. A fund in Rowan's name, Heart for the Ocean, was launched within days. It now supports wild orca research, mental health support for marine workers, and legislative campaigns to ban in-water performances. Rowan Hart was more than a trainer. She was a believer in something better, a bridge between species, a voice in the silence. She trusted Vega. And in the end, that trust cost her everything. But Vega wasn't the villain. Rowan wasn't naive. The system failed them both. So now we ask, can trust exist in a cage? Can love survive when nature is suppressed? And how many more warnings must we ignore before we change? If Rowan's story moved you, share it. Speak her name. Question the systems that let this happen. And never stop fighting for the wild to remain wild. Because what happened in that pool wasn't just a tragedy. It was a truth we can no longer drown.